Strong. Again, it's an acquired taste. Remember the first time you drank some big bold red wine as a kid? You probably didn't like it. You get probably the gentleman to open the bottles and maybe pour them.
Actually has to come straight down and across.
Over, absolutely. Okay.
Over there behind Anne, because that's probably...
Okay, wait, the first line was she's denying that she's engaged, and there was something else.
First of all, they just kind of stop in the doorway and just go, wow. And a lot of people are like, is this truly all water? And we actually have to spend 5 minutes with them saying, yes, it really is water. They're like, but it looks like vodka. It looks like alcohol. The bottles are gorgeous. They look like cologne bottles.
It's taking everything to the next level. There's been wine tastings. Everyone's very familiar with wine. There was a stage where cigars were very popular. And so now there's this whole trend with everyone in all different age categories where they're looking after themselves a heck of a lot more.
That's my cheese.
That's it. I think Brian's in
We experience double-digit growth every year, specifically in our glass bottle range over the PET bottles, and I believe that people are always looking for new trends, something new to have at home, something new to have at work, and I think water fits the bill because it's also a lot less expensive than what you will with wine.
Stores, and you will notice the trend probably started here with this kind of particular store. I wish they would do glass bottles, so please forgive me. It's the only way I can give you ice water right now. Iceberg water is right now. Over there it's not so much. Are we ready, Esther?
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Okay. So this is really not, this water tasting here is really not about finding the best water. As soon as you start realizing that water is not water, you start seeing differences in water. And what we do is a water tasting, we expose people to a couple of different waters. Usually 5 to 6 waters is enough. And they have a very wide range of sources and a different minerality, meaning different mineral content, different bubble sizes. And 99% of the people who experience that tasting will know that water is no longer water. But it's only if you don't pay attention, you think water is water. So that's why I think it's really important for restaurants in the future to have water menus and water lists. Baby boomers are aging, people don't do the 2 martini lunches anymore, but they still want to have something nice in their hand. They don't want to have a silly glass and just being poured tap water. They want to enjoy the water. It's also about enjoyment, the story of the water. All those kind of things are really important. And water in that respect can be the next wine. And tell the people you're using it. Again, I'm using it for martini cocktails. I tell the people this is 18,000 years.
I think dinner parties now, wine is one aspect, and just as important is the water now. People really take a lot of time to make sure that they've got great water, sparkling and still. So it's interesting to have a store like this where there's so many different kinds of water to choose from. It's a dual thing, wine and water.
I think the store is great. I've never seen a store like this before. And I'm very interested in water, like everybody in Iceland, because we have water all over the place.
20 high regret.
No, but then it'll be two next to each other. So this is fine.
If I have a fish, a very subtle fish dish, I don't want to drink water with a very loud bubbles. You know, Perrier comes to mind, very loud in your mouth kind of firework bubbles, and that would kind of destroy the subtleness of the fish dish. But on the other hand, think about a crispy fried oyster. Now the Perrier would work very nicely with that. So number one is really the bubble size matters a lot. Number two is the minerality or the mineral content of the water is very different. Most Americans have never experienced that, but they're water with very few minerals in it. Think of a rainwater from Tasmania, like cloud juice or Tasmanian rain or something like that. And now think of a sushi, perfect match. Both waters are very subtle, water is very soft, sushi is very subtle and taste works very nicely. What we're having here is Tasmanian rainwater. I've done many tastings, but none of them so interruptive as with the focus. So please.